Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Blue Thunder Pod presents Billy's Bite-Sized Bonus Bombs. I know, guys, I hate myself too. I'm very sorry about that. But I realized that we are, and as hard as it is to think this, and even say it out loud, we're just about approaching the midpoint already of 2024. So I figured it was high time for me to do my mid-season top 15 ranked matches for the year of 2024. I'd like to say right off the top that these are absolutely just my own personal opinions. No need to take them personally yourself if you have different ideas about what matches belong on this list. I'd love to hear from you. You can get us at Twitter/X at Blue Thunder Pod, or Instagram Blue Thunder Pod, comment section of YouTube at the Blue Thunder Pod, or mail at bluethunderpod.com. Again, these are just my personal rankings, top 15, starting from the bottom, working my way up. For 2024 so far. I do reserve the right to alter these as my opinion may change, and some of these matches may move around spots by the time I do my year-end review. But it probably will be pretty close to this. Obviously, with the addition of whatever happens after today. Today being June 15th, 2024. The first match that made my list, number 15, definitely is a beneficiary of some recency bias because it happened just this week. Bron Breakker versus my new boyfriend and the man who is giving me a sexual awakening, Ilya Dragunov. I absolutely adored this match. I was very worried going in that Bron was going to get the squash because that's how he has been booked thus far. And after seeing how Carmelo Hayes was done dirty on SmackDown, I was a little worried that they were going to do something similar to Ilya. But the worry was all for naught. Ilya got plenty of offense in, and it wasn't just a babyface early offense. Bron takes advantage and then crushes him. It was a lot of real, actual back and forth. This match, to me, set up a potential like a career-long feud type thing, like attached at the hip for the rest of their careers type of deal for Bron Breakker and Ilya Dragunov. I love Ilya as a babyface. I love his willing to do whatever he has to his body to get a win. And Bron is just a beast. We all know that. And these two they went to war. 16 minutes, Monday Night Raw this past Monday. That will be June 10th of 2024. Number 15. Number 14 on my list of best of 2024 first half. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. It was on an episode of AEW Dynamite way back in February 7th of this year. This was the match that went to the time limit draw. Fantastic match, obviously, because it's Hangman and Swerve together, and that's always it's always a win with those two. But what I really liked about this was it was the moment that solidified Hangman's turn to the dark side, his heel turn, because this match ended in a 30-minute draw, and Hangman refused to go the 5 more minutes when requested, because it was more important to him with his obsession that Swerve not win the title than he actually win the match himself. This led to the triple threat and a 3-way dance, and Swerve winning the title and Hangman taking a leave of absence. Hopefully he's okay. Evidently to take care of some personal matters. I wish him all the best, but I really would like him back as soon as he can, because man, I really miss Hanger, and I think he could do some more magic in Blood and Guts with Swerve upcoming. But as for now, their Dynamite match was my 14th best match of the year thus far. Next up, number 13, lucky number 13, we got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, AEW Dynamite on March 6th of this year. Coming right off the heels of his masterpiece with Konosuke Takeshita at Dynasty? No, I'm sorry, at Revolution. Just less than a week later, I think, Ospreay puts on another 5-star clinic against the guy that he's very familiar with, and that was very clear. These guys knew each other very, very well and were willing, as friends, to really lay it the hell in on one another. Just a fantastic match. It was like watching Will Ospreay and younger, taller Will Ospreay. It's very exciting to watch and see what Kyle Fletcher is going to become eventually down the line. But as for right now, he's pretty goddamn awesome, and he put on my 13th favorite match of the year thus far in 2024. Number 12. Fairly recent match was on AEW Dynamite May 29th. Will Ospreay, Jay White, Claudio Castagnoli, my boy Hechicero. Shout out to all my Hechicero heads out there. Leo Rush, always happy to see Leo Rush. Mystico, Orange Bollocks, Orange Cassidy. Pac, Shota Umino. It was the Dynamite Roulette Gauntlet match, the second one, the one that just recently occurred. Spot fest or whatever, but I just absolutely love this format. I think it's an improvement on the Royal Rumble, basically, and Jay White is just a master in these kinds of matches where he gets to be all sneaky and snaky and creep up behind people and hit them with big moves. And Will Ospreay is and should be a staple in these matches as well, because it's just like a little tasting platter of all what we like future dream matches that we could get from Will Ospreay. We get little snippets of it in these roulette matches, and I prefer this one to the first one because they added 5-second countdown for the random interval entrance, which gives it a little bit more spice. Fans like to do countdowns, and as do I. And I think that was the missing piece to really bring it all together. I love this thing. It's one of my favorite new additions that AEW has made in well over a year. Next on the list, number 10, we got Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy versus Konosuke Takeshita, or as Briscoe called him, Konosuke Takeshita. Kyle Fletcher and Roddy Strong. Again, recency bias, but I don't care. AEW Dynamite from June 12th of this year. This was just basically a perfect get your shit in match. It was one of those. It was like a classic AEW 6-man get your shit in match, but all the stuff in between, all the character stuff, all the interactions between these absolute geniuses in the ring, just elevated this to another level. This was the first time that a match on a card in which Will Ospreay also partook was my personal match of the night. And it didn't involve Will Ospreay. He had an excellent match on this show as well, but it was just a perfect Dynamite match. This felt so Dynamite in the best possible way. Number 9, Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku, Rev Pro High Stakes 2024. If you guys hadn't seen the first match that these two had, Michael Oku, formerly a comedy wrestler, the storyline Will Ospreay, the king of Rev Pro, did not take seriously, and and Michael Oku was fighting for respect on top of the Rev Pro title. The first match was a great match, but it was brutal to watch. Felt like Red Wedding type stuff. Game of Thrones, best heel work of Ospreay's career, in my opinion. Assaulting Oku's girlfriend, just hitting him with hidden blade after hidden blade, picking his head up when he could get the pinfall. It was nasty heel work, and it was really incredible, which led to this match, Will Ospreay's last Rev Pro and last independent booking match of his career. This is right after he signed with AEW. So he went out with a bang. Oku got his comeuppance and then some in an absolute masterclass. 48 minutes, I think it went, and it felt like it was about 5. Incredible move after incredible move, but the emotion behind this match, because of what we had witnessed in the first one, took it to absolutely another level. Oku gets the victory. Ospreay doing the right thing, going out on his back as he leaves the promotion, moves on to bigger and better things. But he'll always have these two Oku matches to look back on fondly, if nothing else, for his time in Rev Pro, because they were absolutely fantastic. Next up, number 8. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, WWE Backlash France. This was a match that was so heavily flavored by the incredible crowd in Lyon, France, that both these guys just were visibly overwhelmed by it, and they took it to another level. I mean, it's AJ and it's Cody, so you know what your floor is, which is a very good match, and with the crowd singing songs at AJ and nonstop chanting, and it seemed to roll back the clock on AJ Styles' career a little bit. He really brought it. He's got an upcoming rematch, Clash at the Castle, actually later today, but I don't expect that they are going to be able to match this masterpiece that they put on at Backlash. It was maybe my favorite Cody match in his time in WWE thus far. Number 7, Gunther versus Sami Zayn at WWE WrestleMania. It was my match of Mania this year. I know a lot of people liked the main event. This was just more kind of my speed as far as Mania matches. I really love Sami Zayn, and Gunther's just an incredible monster heel. I loved all the character work between Sammy's wife and Gunther, and Sammy firing up so incredibly after being absolutely decimated, pulling out the brain buster for the first time in who knows how many years since before he took off the mask. It made me lose my mind, and it was my favorite moment of WrestleMania this year, I should say. Number 6, Pac versus Kazuchika Okada, AEW Dynasty. Check out our review for AEW Dynasty if you haven't already to get my full thoughts on this. But this was basically, I could not have asked for these two to change a damn thing in this match. It's the best of Kazuchika Okada and his charismatic ass self, playing heel like I never knew he could, and Pac just giving it his all as a babyface with the crowd absolutely behind him. A perfectly worked match between two phenoms. Next up, we have number 5, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. NJPW, The New Beginning. This was the best technical match I've ever seen in my life. I know that is probably hyperbole, and people are going to come at me with, oh, World of Sport, the British style, and yada, yada, yada. I don't care. This was 99% technical graps, and then just 1% absolute bestial hatred. And that little bit of bestial hatred, that little blood feud thing that they had going, elevated the already just absolutely stellar technical wrestling between the two best technical wrestlers on earth right now. So that's why that's number 5. Number 4, Konosuke Takeshita versus Darby Allin. It's a very early Dynamite match this year, January 3rd, 2024. About as early as it could possibly have been to still make it on this list. This match was, it was like watching a grizzly bear throw around like capuchin monkey for 20 minutes. And then the capuchin monkey somehow pulling out the victory in the end. Absolutely fantastic. The best kind of just hoss whipping around a little guy. And Darby's Darby, so he's able to pull it out in the end, and it's believable because he's a genius and he's a maniac. Just kicked off the year in the right way. Next up, Will Ospreay versus another familiar name, Konosuke Takeshita, at AEW Revolution 2024. This was the best introduction to a new talent in a major company that I've ever seen in my life. It is a crime that Takeshita has not been pushed to the very top of the card yet, but Billy Goat Bruv really made his mark by debuting in ring with this absolute beast. These guys tried to kill each other. The strike battle between the two alone was worth the price of admission. On top of just all the crazy counters and that Blue Thunder bomb Takeshita pulls off, absolutely incredible. And Will Ospreay getting just kind of hung up on the turnbuckle when Takeshita went for the brain buster and just jacking his back up so bad it added to the tension and to the intrigue and drama of this match. It rolled. Anybody says otherwise is lying to you or just in bad faith. Number 2. This shouldn't be a big surprise, I don't think. Darby Allin and Sting versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. AEW Revolution 2024. It was Sting's retirement match, and it was a match in which Darby Allin took the only bump that I think could seriously challenge the Mick Foley Hell in the Cells for nastiest bump on a major American wrestling program. Off the 25-foot ladder through the glass, real glass, in order to get Darby out of the match and let Sting really get his shine. It was the best possible way for a legend to go out, getting the victory over the two pricks, and standing tall. Everybody went home happy that night. And I'm so glad that Sting got to have his last run and send off the way that he did, rather than leaving wrestling after that ill-fated, awful run he had in WWE. This was the way for a true legend and one of the greatest of all time to go out. And I've watched it back about 10 times because it was absolutely wonderful. And the number 1 match of the year thus far in 2024, and I very highly doubt it's going to get unseated anytime in the remaining 6 months of this year. Of course, the Billy Goat, Will Bloody Ospreay, versus the Goat, or the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, AEW Dynasty. I think he now a little bit removed from it. I feel pretty confident now putting the stamp on this. I think it's the best wrestling match I've ever seen. Dominion, Kenny Omega, Okada was real tough to unseat, and I'm still not 100% certain that this did that, but I just did feel a little bit more for this. It's not taking nothing away from Kenny and Okada. I just didn't follow NJPW at the time outside of the big matches, so I didn't get the storyline stuff bleeding into the story of the match as much as somebody like Dave Meltzer, who had been following that entire storyline. I just had watched all the matches, and on that merit alone, that Okada Omega match had been the best match I'd ever seen. It's held that title for quite a while, and I really do truly think that it has been unseated. This match had, I think, the spot of the year thus far. The Busaiku knee connecting on Ospreay as he goes for the hidden blade after the badass Kung Fu showdown in the opposite corners. The sky is the bloody limit for Will Bloody Ospreay, bruv. I have never seen a guy enter a big promotion and take it by storm just as quickly as Will Ospreay has. The level of enthusiasm, energy, drive he brings to everything he does in wrestling at this point, I think is unparalleled. I'm very excited to see how that performance that Ospreay's put on thus far this year, pushes guys like MJF and Swerve. I think Swerve has already improved his game because of the Billy Goat, and MJF previously had held the mantle for the guy that puts everything he has into every aspect of professional wrestling. I expect him to continue to do that. There are different kinds of wrestlers, which makes it even more exciting for their eventual hopeful face-off down the line. MJF and Ospreay I'm talking about. And I think it's just going to iron sharpens iron, as we've said before on this podcast. It's going to bring them to another level. Who knows? Maybe an Ospreay MJF match will unseat Danielson and Ospreay. I doubt it, though. I don't see anything unseating my number one on this list for probably several years. But that's it for the mid-year rundown of my personal top 15 matches thus far in 2024. Thanks for joining me again for Billy's bite-sized bonus bomb, brought to you by Blue Thunder Pod. And go check out, please, our regular Blue Thunder Pod episodes, both AEW and WWE edition, along with our Clash at the Castle special and most recent Turnbuckle Time Machine SummerSlam 1997. That was a hoot. Go check it out. It's pretty funny. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye-bye.